AFTV.mobi, that was much better, wasn't it? A very, very good performance by Arsenal, especially after going 1-0 down in the game and coming after Lacazette missed that one-on-one. You're thinking, oh my God, it's one of them. But a great comeback by the team.
Absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And not just that, Robbie, you've mentioned the fact that we went one goal down and we missed a brilliant chance before it, but also same team, same location, a few days prior and losing. So all of those three things combined, I think there would have been millions and millions of fans across the world thinking another one of those days. And I'm very, very glad that of all of the people that were thinking that, and I was one of them, it wasn't the team that was thinking that. And the way they responded, I think they deserve unbelievable amounts of credit today. And I really am proud of that response because, you know, I thought after the FA Cup game that Southampton would have their tails up, and at Arsenal, even though it's going to be a very different team, I just thought they would be very aware of the pressure that surrounds this game now because, you know, it's magnified. It's a defeat that would be compounded and magnified because of the same opposition, same ground, all of these similar factors. And they just did so well, and they played without that fear, without that pressure. And I also have to give massive special praise to Mikel Arteta today because I felt like the lineup picked itself. We knew he was going to do that, especially after the team that he put out on the weekend, which I still don't agree with. But it was more the tactics, how well drilled they were, how well the team pressed Southampton today. I thought Mikel Arteta put forward a very, very well drilled, very well set up and motivated team today. And for that, he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, and there was a lot of players that stepped up. And yet again, Saka, the star of the show, this kid, he's unbelievable.
Honestly, it's just ridiculous. You know what, Robbie? A lot of people might know this, some people might not, but I'm just over a month away from bringing, hopefully, inshallah, my first child into this world. And Bukayo Saka, I'm begging you, please stop this, because if you carry on, I'm calling my child Bukayo. It's not an Islamic name. Everyone's going to be confused, but I'm just going to do it. And the wife's going to be mad too. Honestly, you're just that good. I can't believe how good he is, how consistent he is at this age. So little Bukayo hater could be on the way.
That'd be a good shout. But he was magnificent. But it wasn't just him. There was good performances all round. I thought Cedric playing that as a left back out of position, which he did on Saturday and didn't look great.
Yeah,
he came back really, really well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Cedric's one of those ones that a lot of Arsenal fans question because, you know, he's a player that's never really caught the eye, never really been linked with any top clubs. You know, there's obviously certain other players where you know eventually they're going to get a decent move, you know, even if they're not the most fashionable, but you know they've got that potential. Cedric has never been mentioned in that regard. But actually, do you know what? When he's come into the team, he's done a decent job. And I think one thing that he has shown is that he's got a very, very good crossing ability and a decent pass on him. And the pass today for Saka, you know, was brilliant. And it's interesting because I mentioned in the commentary that kind of statistics, you know, they say who got the assist, but what was the key contribution in that goal? It was actually Cedric's pass, not taking anything away from Saka, who will come on to, in fact, we've already spoken about and did so well in that goal. But that pass from Cedric was brilliant. And all game, I thought he did really well.
Yeah. And Pepe as well. Another player that he's been under a lot of pressure. He would have been under a lot of pressure tonight. Maybe wouldn't have started the game had Aubameyang been fit. And you know, maybe if Tierney had been fit, he might not have started as well. But he started the game and he scored the all-important goal to get us back in the game. It was kind of his fault in a way, their goal, because he did fall asleep. But what a way to sort of, you know, you could see him when he scored that goal. He was sort of sending out a message as to say, quiet to people. But, you know, he hasn't been performing, but he did put in a great performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that whole quiet celebration, it bothers me because you get certain players that never had to do that because they were consistent. When you're doing that, it's like when a boxer shakes his head after he gets punched square in the face. Well, the reason you're doing it is because you let your guard down. You did something wrong. The best boxers never have to do that because they don't get hit. And just like footballers, when you're doing that, it's because you weren't doing something that you should have been doing that gave rise to the critics. How about you put them to bed and just be consistent? That's the first thing. We've seen Xhaka do it too often as well. And we'll get on to Xhaka as well. We had a fantastic game. But I'm very happy for Pepe. And the thing is with Nicola Pepe, what I find interesting about him is that we all know he's got the talent. We see glimpses of it and you just think, wow, at times. But I still think he does need to adapt his game to English football to be a little more almost respectful of the physicality of this league. And right now, I kind of feel like he invites a little bit too much pressure and contact from other players. Perhaps a little bit more directness would suit him in this league. But he scored a brilliant goal. And what I find interesting about him is that he always manages to eke out a goal and an assist. When people talk about him being an absolute flop, and then you look at his goal contributions and compare them to other players in his position, you actually think, oh, hold on a second, that doesn't fit my narrative. And he would point to that in his defense, wouldn't he? So I still harbour hope for Pepe, even though he hasn't hit the heights that I would have hoped so far. But perhaps, Robbie, anyone that watched him at Lille when he got a lot of goals, perhaps a conversion to centre forward might be the way forward for Pepe, because he has got that comfort in front of goal.
Yeah, he did. When he was at Lille, he did used to play a lot more central.
Exactly.
Not so much out on in the wide areas, but he played it very well today. You mentioned Xhaka as well. Yeah. I mean, we know Partey was in the middle, he did well, but Xhaka as well really stepped up tonight.
Big time. And what I love being able to do, Robbie, is praise Xhaka for good performances, because there's a lot of fans that, to suit their own agendas, once they criticise the player, they then find it hard to praise a player. And I really find that weird. There's a weird mentality for a supporter to have. You should be happy for your players who are doing well, even if you might have said something critical of them in the past. So a lot of fans are quick to jump on Xhaka when he doesn't do well, and then there's a bit of silence when he does. But you know what? He's been brilliant the last few games, and today I thought he was fantastic. His passing, not only was it forward a lot of the time, but it was key passes as well. Really, really good passes. He laid on chances. And finally, in terms of that creativity that we're looking for, it came from various elements of the team, a Cedric and a Xhaka and a Partey. And I was really, really happy with that, along with the Saka and the ESR, as you'd expect. So, Xhaka, a lot of credit again.
And of course, at the weekend, United, the big one, is going to be a really tough game. They're top of the league. They're playing brilliantly at the moment.
They're not top of the league.
Oh, no, City's top of the league.
Best team in Manchester are top of the league. Man United are second.
But they could go back to top of the league if they beat, I think, Sheffield United tomorrow. So they'll be top of the league coming to us. Tough game, but can we turn them over?
Yeah, of course we can. Listen, Man United are on a brilliant run of form, and I think they're surpassing a lot of people's expectations. But I do feel they'll have another tough spell, and as well as they're doing, they deserve a lot of credit, let's be honest, but they will drop off. I don't think they're at the level of a Man City. And just like we've seen Liverpool have a bad spell of form, I think United will have that in the season as well. For me, though, I'm just worried because Emil Smith-Rowe has gone off today, and Thomas Partey has gone off today. And I'm praying, I'm so nervous, and I'm praying that it's just precautionary, because you saw what Arteta did when ESR got injured. He went and put on Willian, and Martinelli was going to come on, and I just thought to myself, what are you doing? And I think we're very lucky, actually, that we went and scored a goal straight after that put the game to bed, because Arteta would have a lot of criticism if, it stayed tight and Southampton nicked another goal and equalised. He'd get a lot of criticism for bringing Willian on, which I didn't agree with. So is that an insight into his thinking for Saturday, that if ESR is not fit, that he'll play Willian? I really, really hope not. But I really hope that they're both fit and available for the game, because they're absolutely crucial. And, I'll say this right now. Lacazette in the past, he's one big point of frustration for me. Number one, not clinical enough. We saw that today in the first chance. That should have been a goal 10 times out of 10. The other thing is that he works very hard, but he commits too many fouls. Today, I thought he got the balance right on that. He didn't commit as many fouls, because there's no point in working really hard for the team and then taking all the pressure off the opposition when you go and commit the foul. So he was better at that today. But the third thing is, when he does all of that work, he vacates his position as a centre forward. And what I love about Emil Smith-Rowe playing alongside Lacazette is Smith-Rowe knows to get ahead of Lacazette. So you don't look at the pitch and you think, well, where is the attacking threat Smith Rowe fills in? And I thought Saka did that as well today, really, really well. So for me, Lacazette, he was brilliant today, but he was made to look brilliant as well because of the dynamic of the team. And ultimately, that's what you want a manager to do, to instill that dynamic. And I thought it worked really, really well.
AFTV Picks, the new exclusive free-to-play betting tool app for football fans everywhere. Every week, test your skills and knowledge against Robbie and the AFTV fans and stand to win prizes and cash. And wait for it, it's all free.